So what I have here is a piece of paper named password. If I go ahead and toss that down below, the copper golem is going to pull that out of the copper chest, put it into the chest it belongs in, and then the door will open. And it's almost like the golem is saying welcome. Hello everybody, Rogue Fox here, and welcome back to another Minecraft Bedrock Edition Redstone video. In this Redstone video, I will be revisiting one of the most popular builds on my channel, and that is the keycard door that you see right here behind me. But instead of using the item sorting mechanics that we used in the original build, we are going to be swapping it out with the copper golem and the brand new item sorting mechanics. If you've seen the original video to the keycard door, this will look very familiar. But if you happen to be new to the channel, first of all, welcome, and I do recommend checking this video out. A card to it will be popping up in the top right corner. So how this works is, like I mentioned, it would have an item sorting system. So we have all of this right here, and then what we would do is we would get our item, a named item. So in this case, it would be key. I would put it into the dropper, push the button, and then the door will open, and then we can go right through. And once we step on the pressure plate, the door will close behind us, and then we can go ahead and grab our key and then move on. And then to exit, all we simply do is step on the pressure plate once again and walk out. So this is how the original build worked. Now that we have the copper golem and the brand new item sorting mechanics in preview, this opens the door to so many opportunities for redstone builds. In fact, last week I made a mini game using the copper golem. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend checking that out. It was very fun to make. Now for this, like I mentioned, I'm making an updated keycard door. Now, the first thing I think of when I see this is looking at the copper golem. I think of the movies or TV shows where someone walks up to the door and they slide open the latch and they say, "What's the password?" And then the person gives them the password. And then, of course, if they have the password, they open the door for them and let them through. So this is kind of the same idea. So what I have here is a piece of paper named password. If I go ahead and toss that down below, the copper golem is going to pull that out of the copper chest, put it into the chest it belongs in, and then the door will open. And it's almost like the golem is saying welcome. Now, if I go ahead and pull the piece of paper back out, so let's take that, the door will close. And let's say I try to give it something like this light blue wool. I'm going to throw it in. The copper golem is going to open its copper chest on the other side. It's going to see that it doesn't belong in the chest where the password goes, so it's going to put it into a junk chest down below. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw my password back in. The copper golem is going to pull it out like we saw earlier, put it into the chest it belongs into. The door is going to open, and this time I'm going to go ahead and walk into the back room here. Take out my password. The door is going to close behind me just like we saw earlier, and I am where I need to be. And all I do to leave is simply push the stone button here. The door opens, and then I walk out. Originally, I was going to do a tutorial on this like I normally do, but because this is experimental, this isn't fully released yet, there are going to be some quirks, and I think I found what one of them are. So, like I mentioned, we have our password here, and then in this chest, this would be the sorting one. So this would be the exact same one, and you can see that they stack here, and that's how this build works. However, there are times if I give the copper golem the correct item, it will open its copper chest like it usually does, but it will not sort it into the correct chest. So that time, yes, of course, when I want to record and show it not working, it's going to work. That's just how things work. But let's go ahead and take it out once again. And like I mentioned, we have another chest here that's for the junk items. So anything that does not go into this chest gets thrown into here. That goes down into the hopper and then is collected down below. So there is a light blue wool. Let's go ahead and try to give it the password once again, and let's see what happens. It opens the chest, and then all of a sudden it wants to sort it into the correct chest. Of course it does. So this is a reason why, again, I didn't want to do a tutorial on it just yet. I want to wait for the full release to make sure everything is working as intended. So if I give it the wrong item, that's going to go down. The copper golem opens the chest and puts it into the junk where it belongs. So that went down to there. If I go ahead and try to give it password again, so it's going to go ahead and open up its chest, and it should be putting it into the chest like it... Now it wants to do it. It wants to do it now. So far, it's been working, but every other time I've tried to record a clip before this, it would not sort it into the proper chest. So, again, this is why I'm not doing a full-on tutorial just yet. So it pulls out the paper, it knows where to put it, But this time, it puts it into the junk chest, so it actually gets sorted into the wrong chest. So that's the current issue that is happening with this. And as you just saw in the clip before this, it did it 2 times in a row where it put it correctly into the right chest. Yeah, that is the only reason why I'm going to hold off on the tutorial for now. The concept is there, don't get me wrong. We see it in action, we see it working, but unfortunately, because I'm going to go ahead and chalk it up to it being experimental still, and we don't have the full release, it's not sorting the items like it should. So it's a bit frustrating, but that's a part of being in experimental and in preview. Hopefully that's something that gets sorted out before the release actually drops. But for now, it's kind of up in the air. And as you saw for yourselves, it's hit or miss. So again, I'm not going to do a tutorial on it until we get the full release. But with that being said, everyone, this is going to be the end of today's Redstone video. I really hope you all enjoyed. This has been Rogue Fox, and I will see you in the next one.